The Natural Connections demonstration project is funded through DEFRA, Natural England and Historic England. They were really keen to support an outdoor learning project that helped teachers to get outside when they wanted to and to reduce the barriers that teachers face in using the outdoors to deliver the curriculum. So they made a commitment in a white paper which would allow us to test various models of supporting teachers and breaking down those barriers.
The White Paper of 2011 charged Natural England with engaging children with the natural environment. And this arose because of the evidence showing how important it was for children to engage and that numbers of children actually engaging was falling.
Natural Connections is focused on areas of multiple deprivation in the southwest. So we've been working in areas of Devon like Torbay and Plymouth, in Bristol, North Somerset and certain parts of Cornwall. And the idea is to create clusters of schools that support each other to deliver outdoor learning. It's across the curriculum, and I think I need to emphasise that.
Every single subject's been outside, so we've had dramas out here, music's been out here, we've had maths lessons where they've been looking for mathematical shapes in the natural landscape, we've had science lessons obviously, geography have been out, history have done stuff. Every single subject in the curriculum has been outside.
One of the favourite outdoor lessons I did was when we went outside to do poetry and creative writing, because we got a more able experience than being stuck in a classroom of the accurate description of nature and what it felt like to be outside, so it was more relatable to the reader.
There's been a lot of work through King's College London, for example, on the barriers to engagement and the barriers that teachers face.
So I think at the start teaching staff were looking for permission to go outside. I think teachers had got used to being in their classroom, that was their working environment. And it was saying to them, actually, you could go outside, take a chance, take a risk. And that's had a great knock-on effect in how they've approached teaching and learning in their own classroom as well.
I've seen teachers growing hugely in confidence, develop their skills in taking children out of school, and help to contribute to a whole school philosophy, which says broadly learning out of doors is permissible and something that they want to do.
There's a huge body of evidence already that there are a range of benefits from outdoor learning. So there's health and well-being, there's enjoyment that pupils have, there's the level of engagement in the learning, and there's issues about different social skills and personal skills that children develop when they're outside and learning in a different way. And we wanted the project to enable teachers to feel that they could both teach the curriculum and actually get children outside and healthy and happy.
So we're focusing on very local green spaces, so the opportunity for teachers to take their classes just into the playground, into local green spaces, maybe the local park, local orchard, so something that's easily manageable and easily accessible.
A great attraction to the whole project for us was that anything you did had to be within 10 minutes walk of your school. So you don't have to worry about buses, you don't have to worry about transport, you don't have to worry about big risk assessments and consent forms. You're on your own site, and it's just opening your eyes thinking, actually, there's a little corner of our school site that we don't use, and it would make a great little storytelling centre, or it would make a great little art project, or just a space where kids can learn differently.
We've got schools which are urban and have relatively limited external resource, and others that are more generously provided. But they've all found different ways of using the different areas of the grounds for different purposes. They've adapted their own environments to provide really, really meaningful learning spaces for children.
It's allowed us to go to other secondary schools like Callington and see what they're doing, pick up ideas from a much bigger site than us. And actually, how can we do that over here? And how can we replicate some of the stuff they've done over here with our students?
We use our school site, which is a large field, and we've developed this area over the last 3 years. So the profile of outdoor learning through Natural Connections has allowed us to focus on developing an area that's on site And then we also use the woods, so local woodland areas, local companies that are such as Wiltshire Wildlife Trust, where we can use their reserves.
Well, for us in the Forestry Commission, there is this terrific public resource of a public forest estate, which is open for everybody. And it's brilliant to be able to use it, not just for recreation, but for education as well.
I think the first thing that we learn about the Natural Connections Project is that it's a very, very smart way of thinking how you work with schools. Schools are increasingly busy places, they have really packed curriculums, teachers have got an enormous amount to do. So what's clever about this project is it listens to teachers, it works with the grain of an individual school, and it works out how to get them into the outdoors while improving their curriculum experience. Many of my colleagues are perpetually standing up in the House of Commons with new ideas for the curriculum. They'll say, will the Prime Minister agree that we need a new course on X, Y or Z or whatever they've noticed children don't know? The problem is that we're not taking into account always how busy curriculums already are, how much time needs to be spent on basic skills. And what's really smart about this project is it connects an understanding of teachers and schools with an understanding of the natural environment.
Just because you're taking the learning from inside the classroom outside doesn't make the learning any better. It has to actually be, how does that learning outside add value? How does it actually make the learning better? And that for us is what this whole project has been about. It's about trying to say to schools, well, look, this is a classroom. This is a classroom. You actually have to redefine the term classroom. If you redefine the term classroom to learning space, that's any space. And actually, a lot of the curriculum should be taught in a space that isn't the classroom, and therefore by default that's outside.
People would be finding it easier to learn by doing things, and you're better at doing things while outdoors because there's a lot more to do.
You now, in your pair, have a stick. This is your measuring tool. This is how you are going to measure length.
We've been doing maths outside of measuring of lengths of how long things are. Because outdoors there's more like better things that you can measure of like twigs and trees and more things around you, but like in the classroom there's not really much things to measure. And it's just nicer to be outside, there's fresh air and bugs and stuff to just keep you happy and smile.
It feels a lot more calmer and it's a bit more free and relaxing, and we can concentrate more because it's in an environment where we would naturally be when we're learning stuff as a kid.
The results are really, really impressive, and you just look at the percentage of teachers that are reporting impacts on things like social skills, on behaviour, on engagement in the classroom, on well-being. But not only that, as there is this real link between learning outside in the natural environment and how well children do in school.
The Natural Connections project has demonstrated the value of this, the success, the figures that have come back from teachers about how effective it is, demonstrate that this is a great opportunity for a project that could be rolled out more widely.
We need to think long term. We're bringing together a 25-year plan for the British environment, and we want, obviously, children and young people to be at the centre of this. The only way we're going to actually sustain our environment is by having people who care about the environment and love it, and the only way we'll get people who love and care about the environment is by getting children outdoors, and outdoors in a way that actually excites them.
I think it's empowered teachers, and it's enabled them to go out and do the sorts of things they might have wanted to do but felt that they couldn't.
Sometimes projects get thrown at schools with huge budgets attached to them, which is lovely, but as soon as the budget goes, the project dies. This project we've sustained it ourselves. It's cost us virtually nothing. It costs us a little bit of time for one or two teaching staff, a little bit of time for a minimum of photocopying. The rest of it is sustainable. It's not costing you anything, you're going to carry on doing it.
With the hub schools that we've been working with, I think really the legacy is going to be that we've created, hopefully, a sustainable culture within those schools of outdoor learning, and having upskilled members of staff in those teams. The long-term goal is that you know, they'll continue on with outdoor learning long after the project is finished.
What it's done is get teachers being creative, taking chances, taking risks, trying something different. But this is something that doesn't cost very much money, it's very easily done, it's just a slight shift in your culture and your mindset, and the benefits are massive in terms of student motivation, student behaviour, teacher motivation. It's great.
So what I'm very keen to do is see what we can do to take this project, which has been fantastically successful in the Southwest, and roll it out across the country as a whole. And if that's something that I could be involved in as a small way as a minister, it'd be something that make me very proud.
To see some of the children, you know, having those light bulb moments and really grasping a concept and doing it in the outdoor environment, and just seeing that they're doing it in such a fun and practical and enthusiasm-inspiring way, that's been the real highlight for me.
And yeah, they love it. It's fun, it's exciting, and allows them to take control of their learning.